Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. My name is Paul Gately, G-A-T-E-L-Y. I'm the Deputy Chief of Police here in the town of Groton. We're going to present a briefing for you, the press, and there have been some recent developments that we want you to be aware of. Chief Fusaro will provide that information to you in short order. It's important for everyone to realize this is an ongoing investigation. We want to protect the integrity of this case. We are not prepared to expand upon the narrative which has already been released. Affidavits involved in this case are sealed. Therefore, we are not at liberty to discuss the details. We are not going to confirm or deny information that has been reported in the media that was not obtained through sources that has been obtained through sources other than the police department. I would caution that there have been reports in social media that have not been accurate. It's also important to emphasize that although the victim in this case is known and loved by members of this community, the Groton Police Department takes very seriously all investigations and victims, regardless of who they are. The Dela Cruz family has a statement that they are prepared to share with you all. The Dela Cruz family is known to many of you through the story of their son, Joey Gingerella. The Dela Cruzes, the Gingerellas, and Joey's extended family appreciate the well wishes that they have received. However, they are not prepared to take any questions at this time, and they would appreciate you respecting their privacy during this very difficult time. At this time, I would like to introduce Chief L.J. Fusaro.
Thanks, Chief. All right, good afternoon. To my right is Acting Lieutenant Nick Parham, our Detective Division Commander, who's serving that role currently and was the leader of this investigation. On December 11th, 2016, at approximately 1:33 a.m., Groton Town Police received a report of shots fired in the area of Ryan's Pub, 112 Fort Hill Road in Groton. Patrol officers arrived a short time later and located the lone male victim in a parking lot suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim, later identified as Joey Gingerella of Groton, was transported to L&M Hospital and later died of his injuries. Detectives later identified Dante Hughes, age 30, of Groton, as a suspect in this case. A short time later, an arrest warrant was issued for Hughes for the charge of murder. Detectives and investigators from the Groton Town Police Department have worked tirelessly over the past 72 hours since this crime took place. During the course of their investigation, they interviewed countless witnesses and associates of Hughes, produced multiple search and seizure warrants, and worked with multiple agencies in an attempt to locate the accused. Earlier this afternoon, detectives were able to employ investigative techniques that indicated Hughes was attempting to flee the country. A short time ago, detectives learned Hughes was detained at the United States-Canadian border. This information was confirmed with the Canadian Border Services, and he is being held in Canada awaiting legal procedures to bring him back to the United States. Detectives and investigators are currently working with the New London County State's Attorney's Office, the U.S. Marshal Service, and Canadian authorities to facilitate that return. I'd like to publicly thank the countless officers, investigators, and detectives and supervisors, and Acting Lieutenant Parham of the Groton Town Police Department, who have worked to solve this case and bring the perpetrator to justice. Of equal importance is the assistance provided by brother and sister law enforcement personnel throughout southeastern Connecticut, including the Connecticut State Police, various local partners, and the London County State's Attorney's Office. I'm incredibly proud of the patrol officers and supervisors who have aided the victims and the family and secured the scene and identified crucial witnesses and evidence in this case. Our detectives and investigators doggedly pursued leads on the details of this investigation and the whereabouts of this suspect that ultimately led to him being captured. It's also important to note, as Deputy Chief Gately stated, this case remains under investigation and warrants are sealed, preventing us from commenting further. However, we will provide additional information at a later date. At this time, we have a brief statement from the Dela Cruzes. I'd like to introduce Joe Dela Cruz.
We're very grateful to Groton Town Police for this incredible work they're doing and for having apprehended the suspect in this horrible crime against our son, Joe. Joey was a wonderful, wonderful young man who was blessed to have two fathers. I'm his stepdad, Joe Dela Cruz, and his father, Frank Gingerella. It's no secret that Joey suffered from addiction. He battles addiction for years, but found the courage and strength to confront it and to make positive changes in his life. He was making huge strides towards his goal. He was inspirational, helpful, and caring individual who put the needs of others before himself. He's blessed with many friends who appreciated his perception of community, friendship, and family. His circle included many people of all colors, backgrounds, and races. We all love him and know his legacy will grow through the work of his friends and family, who will continue to do in his memory. We want to thank the many people who love Joey and want to do something for him and our family. We appreciate these sentiments and are thankful. We hope to establish a scholarship in his name, but have not yet begun that effort.
Take a breath.
We have been made aware that several GoFundMe pages have been set up by our community. The outpouring of support has been unbelievable. Those monies will be used to help heal our community in honor of our son, Joey. Thank you.